Always wear safety glasses when working in the shop.
The safety glasses are over here by the sink in the white cabinet here. Make sure that you are grabbing a pair anytime you're working with tools or working near somebody who has the tools. If you are wearing glasses like I do, they should still fit over the top. And if you require a different pair, come see one of us and we will get you a pair that might fit better over your glasses. Or if you've got a smaller head and these feel too big, we can get you a pair that are a little bit smaller.
Wearing safety glasses means that when you are working, they are on your face. Safety glasses should not be on the top of your head while you are working. They do not do much good up there. And if you take your safety glasses off, you do not set them down on the lens. You always set your safety glasses down when you're not working on the upper frame or the blue portion, which is exactly where we place them when we set them back in the safety glasses cabinet. At the end of the day, all the safety glasses need to be placed back exactly where they belong, sitting correctly, or we will not get to be dismissed yet.
Report all accidents, injuries, and broken equipment to the instructor immediately.
Any accident we need to know about. When you tell us about an accident, we have first aid kit and safety materials and health materials up here in Poulos' aid kit. This includes gauze, bandages, disinfectants, cotton swabs, everything we need to make sure that you are safe if there is an accident or injury to occur in the shop.
We've both been trained in first aid, and so we are going to do our absolute best to keep you safe and to minimize any complications that may happen. Wait for the tool to stop completely before you leave.
We have many different pieces of equipment in here that continue to run after you've shut them off. Examples would be the scroll saw, the bandsaw, the disc sanders, the drill presses, and the lathes. It's very important that you don't leave the machine until the machine has stopped moving, because it could be off and it still could be moving. Okay? So that's really important. Any piece of equipment you're using, do not leave it, and do not take your safety glasses off until the machine has come to a complete stop, and then you may leave. Always be sure to remove the chuck key before turning on the drill press.
The chuck keys are the tools that hang from the drill presses that look like this. This is used in the chuck that holds the bit, and we want to make sure that when you're done putting the bit in or taking it out, that you always take that chuck key and let it hang back at the back of the machine so that somebody doesn't accidentally turn that on while it's still in place and have it spin and possibly hurt somebody. Keep hands and fingers away from the chuck and drill bits at all times.
So when the machine's running, this is your chuck, this is your drill bit, this is a Forstner bit. You're going to want to keep your hands away from both of these. When the machine's running, the bit isn't the only dangerous part of the machine. The chuck can also damage you, your project, and those around you. Do not overload the drill press with excessive pressure. It will not work better and it damages the tool.
The drill presses work really great for drilling nice straight holes into your projects. And when you're pulling this down, it lowers the bit. If you're having to pull down really, really hard, there's probably a couple of things that could be happening. One, the drill bit may not be able to go any further because the table is too low, so you may have to raise that table back up. Another thing is the bits may be dull, and you may need to switch out and get a different bit, something that's a little sharper. But we don't want to have you pulling on it too hard. If you're pulling on it too hard, something's wrong. We need to reevaluate what's happening because this machine should make it easy for you to drill holes and not difficult.
Do not interrupt other people while they are using the equipment.
When people are using the tools, it could be the hand tools or one of the stationary tools like the bandsaw or the drill press or something like that. We want to make sure that you're not interrupting them. We want them to be able to concentrate on what they're working on. And if you're interrupting, it makes it very, very hard for somebody else to focus on the project that they're working on and use the tools safely. Work at a safe speed and concentrate on what you're working on.
This rule ties in with a lot of different rules we have in the shop. But the idea is that you are focusing and concentrating on the work before you, and that you're doing it at a safe and appropriate speed for the tool and the task at hand. This allows you to be efficient and safe within the shop for you and your peers.
When drilling deep holes, clean the bit out by backing it out and then drill deeper.
This is similar to our portable power tools. When you're drilling, like this Forstner bit, it doesn't allow the material to be pulled back out of the hole. We're talking about the sawdust or the scraps of wood. So when you bring it down, you take away material and then you bring it back up. It cools down the bit, it cools down your project, and then you go a little bit farther, and then you come back up and you repeat that process until you work all the way through your project. Make sure the bit will not cut into the table before using the drill press.
When you're using the drill press, we want to make sure that as this bit comes down, it's not going to cut into the table. And depending on what kind of a project you're working on, you may have to adjust that table. You may need to be able to drill all the way through. And so if you are drilling all the way through your project, we want to make sure that when you fully come through the project, the bit isn't going to hit the table here. Because if you hit the metal table with the drill bits, you will ruin the drill bits.
Use clamps to hold the workpiece down when drilling pieces that are small and hard to hold.
At the drill press, we're going to be doing some things where you might be drilling a CO2 car, race car, or doing a personal project, or making pins, something like that. And if you're using the drill press and you've got small pieces, we don't want you to try to hold on to them because that becomes very dangerous. Your hands get too close to the chuck and the bit. The pieces can get stuck and spin out of your hand. So what we want you to do is grab either some kind of a clamp, like this wood screw clamp here, or if you're doing, say, a pen project, we have a special vise that's designed to hold the pen pieces in place, and then this can sit on the table when you're drilling. Okay? These vices, specially designed for making pins, so we don't want to use them if we're doing other things, but along the back wall of the shop, we do have a number of different clamps that you can use to clamp your piece to the tabletop here. If your hole is to be drilled through the material, use a piece of scrap wood to protect the table from the holes.
So what we're saying here is that if I want to drill a hole all the way through this piece of 2x4, I can't get all the way through this 2x4 without drilling into the table. So, to fix that, you use a piece of wood underneath your project, and now you can drill through the project, and you can also get a clean hole on the back side of your 2x4. If you were to drill through the 2x4 and not use this, and your bit was to go through a hole in the table, it would actually blow out and damage the back of your project. So we really get two birds with one stone here. We protect the drill press, and we keep our project nice and clean. Never stop the drill by using your hands. Let the machine coast to a stop.
When you're done using the drill press and you're ready to take away your projects and move back to your table, we want to make sure that the drill press has come to a complete stop, not only for the safety of removing your project from here, but the safety for somebody else coming to it. When you turn it off, it's going to take just a few seconds for it to coast to a stop. Please do not try to grab the chuck or the drill bit or any part of the drill while that is slowing down. As you can see, it really doesn't take very long, and it's very, very important for your safety and others that you're not grabbing hold of it to slow it down and that you're not leaving while it's still spinning. If the material gets caught on the bit and starts to spin, step back and turn the machine off right away.
Even if you're working with your material clamped, these bits are very aggressive, like a Forstner bit, and if it hits a knot or something in the wood or an imperfection, it could grab your project and start spinning it with the bit. If this is the case, step back and immediately shut off the drill press and wait for it to come to a stop and reach an instructor.